centered. Fairly centered. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing on TikTok? Good to see you guys. Long time no see. For those of you that were here last night. Welcome, everyone on Instagram. Instagram looks a little bit slow. Just waiting to make sure we don't have a lag. Welcome, everyone on Facebook. And everyone on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. Guys, let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Just letting me know my audio and video is good before I start babbling to myself. Or Diana, if you want to give me a thumbs up, let me know that we're good on all platforms. And you guys, tonight is the Unbound Sage. Everything is working. Thank you so much, Diana. So let's go ahead and get into it. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. Tonight is the Unbound Sage, where you drop your $10 donation. I deliver out to you whatever's the most important message you need to hear at this time. Now, it is unlimited, so you could drop multiple donations and then you'll receive multiple messages. If you have to post and ghost, it's a non-issue. Go ahead and take off. Go do what you need to do. This show will get published exclusively on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. Again, it's at Ask Ivy the Medium in about 24 hours with timestamps. So you can go back and watch your reading then. And if you guys need to book a private reading with me, a party, I do work corporate events, private events, etc., or a psychic fair, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com. I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system. Get yourself set up there. Okay. Now, if for any reason the time frames aren't working out for you, like you're in the Middle East, for example, sometimes our schedules can clash a little bit. It's tight. You can always get a video reading. Okay. So just keep scrolling down. You'll see that option. And if you guys prefer to do this privately, you can go onto my website and click on Spirit Message. And a spirit message will be sent to you, or if you want to gift it to someone else, okay, just like we're doing in tonight's show. And I'm going to skip announcements tonight. We have a lot of people waiting already. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get right into this tonight. So we're just going to dive in. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, though. I don't know what. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk. This is the Unbound Sage, where you drop a $10 donation. I deliver out to you whatever's the most important message you need to hear at this time. Tonight is unlimited. I can't do that every night, but I can tonight. So you could drop as many donations as you want. You'll receive as many messages as you have reserved your space for. If you have to post and ghost, that's not a problem. This will get published in about 24 hours, exclusively on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, and it'll have timestamps. Okay, thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. Good to see you guys. Welcome, whatever platform you guys are tuning in from. Diana, my beautiful producer, is with us tonight. If you are on TikTok or Instagram, Diana has to post, repost, post again in the comment section the directions, because neither of those platforms allows us to pin anything, nor do they give us a description box. Okay, so we're just doing the best that we can there. If you prefer to do everything under one umbrella, you could switch over to YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium or one of my Facebook channels. And yeah, it looks like we've got quite a few coming in over here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it tonight. So if you guys need to book a private reading, okay, or you want to see a list of events, for those of you that like to come see me in person only, My in season has begun. So I don't have all the events up on the website, but we're starting to pack the events page and the events calendar. So Margin Manor Winery, Harvest and Hops, Grey Cliff, basically you name it, the traditional stuff that I do every year, I'll be back doing those. Okay. We also have the double-decker buses coming out here from Buffalo double-decker buses, Niagara Falls double-decker buses, bus tours coming through here to see the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home. All right. And if you guys are asking, like, what is this? Where is she filming from? We are on the Haunted History Trail of New York State and the Historical Trail of Chautauqua County. So you could book a haunted sleepover experience here, a ghost hunt, a historical tour. There's always a ton going on, or get in on one of those bus tours. Okay. They travel about an hour out, okay, to come here. Again, it's Buffalo double-decker bus or Niagara Falls tours. So lots going on, lots going on. The in-season has begun. I love spooky season, so I'll be working overtime until just after New Year's. It's going to be a madhouse this year. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Who do we have first? Hopefully my pens hold up. All right, first up is Edgar Velardes. What's the most important message Edgar needs to hear at this time? The most important message for Edgar? I heard keep your chin up and your eyes forward, stay focused. You may, in the next 3 weeks, be very tempted to get distracted. I heard eat more oranges, vitamin C, increase your intake. It can sharpen your brain. It can sharpen your attention span. It can clear up any brain fog. It can increase your memory. It can also do the obvious things that it does, cleansing, immunity, all that jazz. But there's talk of you needing to smell more citrus, to eat more citrus. And I don't feel like I'm talking about orange juice, okay, with all that sugar and garbage in it, like actual oranges. Tangerines, whatever. Okay. There needs to be an increase there. I think that what could be coming in mostly in the next few weeks that could be pulling your focus away and distracting you from what you should be paying attention to is mostly your own brain. This could be worry. This could be disturbances. This could be anxiety over some changes that are coming in. And as I say that, I feel like I'm losing my voice. So maybe you feel like your throat chakra is being attacked, like your throat chakra is being blocked or shut down, or there's a threat of that. I just want to remind you, that you're not under attack. Okay. I know it can feel that way if you're being like tested, you really have to stretch yourself. You're getting into some new uncharted territory, but you chose this. Okay. So it's not like you're under attack. It's more like I decided I want to level up. I am determined to level up. And, you're going to have a tenacious attitude about that. All right. That comes with challenges. That's all. So it'll help you to stay focused if you could put those feelings, those big emotions in perspective. The minute they happen, don't let it ride over you for 3 days. Okay. Don't go along for the ride holding onto the bumper being dragged on down the street. No. As soon as you start to notice the anxiety or a heaviness or those feelings of attack or victimhood, no, I chose this. I designed this. And at this point, it's like, damn it, I got this far. The finish line is right around the bend. So stay focused, okay, and add in those elements to help you do so. Thank you, Edgar. We're going to move on. Who do we have next? We are going to do this, Diana, like rapid fire tonight, okay? Rapid fire. Thank you. Deanna is next. What's the most important message for Deanna? What's the most important message Deanna needs to hear at this time? Stop looking backward. Stop looking backward. It's like you're behind the wheel of this car. It's a big old green Lincoln looking like boat type of vehicle from the 70s. I know this is symbolic. But the color green is symbolic of healing. Archangel Raphael, healing oneself to evolve into a place where I can heal others. My cup runneth over. Okay, it's also symbolic of new things, a new life, prosperity. Okay, so you've got all the right things going for you. You've done all the labor. The karma is all working out. The breakthroughs are right there. It's right here. And you, for whatever reason, keep looking behind you, looking behind you. You can't drive like that. Okay. It's like the car isn't moving because you're spending too much time feeling like, I don't know if I'm ready. I need more signs from the universe. And this looking behind you is getting stuck in the past, stuck in your own old ways, stuck in your old habits, habitual patterns of thought, in particular, in regards to who else is coming with me, who's going to help me, who's keeping me company, who do I have, who can I partner with. This can be coming from a place of feeling as though you can't make it on your own. Maybe a fear of autonomy, a fear of independence, a fear of overwhelm, potentially. Sometimes in life, when it's time to move forward, we have a tendency to panic, almost like a deer in the headlights, and start looking for other people to come save us. And I want to say at this stage in your life and in these areas where you'll be moving forward, no one is coming to save you because you don't need it. There's nothing wrong with the car. There's nothing wrong with the tires. There's nothing wrong with your driving skills. You don't need it. Now, this doesn't have to just pertain to like people, although I do see you looking backward for a man. So maybe you've had a tendency to give more credit to men, paternal figures, okay, brothers, lovers, if you date straight, okay, like whatever. This could also be people in positions of authority symbolically, okay. Maybe your whole life you have lived in accordance with that, where you believed that you could achieve if they were letting you or helping you or offering you something. And now that you're doing it on your own, you're like, well, where are they? Doesn't matter where they are. Doesn't matter where they are. They were never really necessary anyways. Okay, so this is sort of a shedding, a deprogramming from those old ways of thinking. And you may look forward and say, I'm overwhelmed. This is all very new. It's uncharted. And I'm not, 100% confident that I can handle it all. You'll handle it when you get there. Worry about it when you're up to bat, or don't worry about it at all. When it's time to play ball, you play ball. When it's time to go up to bat, the universe will provide you with whatever you need. But you are equipped. Okay. So stop worrying that you don't have enough, or there aren't enough support systems, or you need more answers, or you are trying to be perfect about things. Forget about it. That's all ego, fear, manipulation, control. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Thank you, Deanna. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? Next up is Abby Hicks. Thank you, Diana. Abby Hicks. Abby Hicks. What's the most important message for Abby Hicks to hear at this time? Abby Hicks. TikTok. You have been postponing doing something in your life that feels very much like a ceremony. It's almost like a moving forward. It's like, I need to invest in this. Now, I think this actually hits a couple different areas, because the first thing I got with you was like hair, this could be body, this could be, it could be makeup, I suppose, but I feel like it's more on you already. All right. So this could be like working out in a different way, getting a different type of trainer, changing your appearance, going from like blonde to black. I mean, whatever it is that you've been thinking about in that area. It's essentially about presenting to the world in a very different way than what you used to, changing your overall like brand image, okay, what we're presenting to the world. The second thing I got with this was going into training. So training, education, research, certifications, any type of learning that you need to get under your belt in order to move forward with your career, with your sense of, I heard satisfaction that's coming from your guides, but I was actually going to say like sense of stability. It's hard to kind of go out into the world and be like, oh yeah, I'm offering this, or I'm good at this, or I know about this, or I expect to be taken seriously, when you can't sort of not necessarily prove it, but you don't feel that you fully comprehend even what you're talking about. Like, I always say the best test is to be able to teach it. If you could talk about something in depth without notes, I know it like the back of my hand, you're ready to go. Okay. And people will take you seriously. The other thing that comes up here is travel. But this was oddly specific. This is about a solo trip. So if you are thinking of launching something like a solo travel channel, okay, or you want to publish or do videography on your excursions, I felt like this was literal. If it's symbolic, take it out, resonates. I felt like I saw you booking trips to Europe and then going and recording things. But take it out, resonates. It could also be just you going on excursions out into the world and learning new things, and I'm sort of recording my life, a day in the life of that counts for sure. But there should be some solo travel in this, and it's important to remember that with solo travel, we are doing it legitimately behind the camera as well, so that you can meet the people and go to the places and be spontaneous and like inspired by the universe, okay, and life and the human experience on Earth, without somebody being there interrupting. All right, so some interesting change should be coming in. That's where your focus and attention needs to be. Stop putting it off. TikTok. Thank you, Abby Hicks. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? Mike H. What is the most important message for Mike H to hear at this time? You're more fearful than you want to admit. You have a way of getting behind the wheel of your big truck with its big knobby wheels. This is probably symbolic, unless of course you have this kind of truck, but it's this image of like getting up into my Ford. I got these huge tires. I could like run over cars in front of me and, plow through the masses if I ever had to. It's very revved up. It's very powerful. It's very like I present, as though I know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of alpha material, and I've got it. The reality is that right here in front of you are a couple things that are scaring you, and they're scaring you because they go deep inward. They are reaching down into your heart. It's reaching down into the depths of who you are, who you want to be. And it could be creating some need for shadow work, going back into childhood and releasing some areas where you either weren't supported in the way that you needed, you were shut down. Maybe, this was even bullied in some capacity. I'm not saying necessarily by like other kids in the lunchroom, but this could be where like parents or elders or society shut you down, made you feel small in any way. There is this desire that you have in your life right now from your higher mind to let that go, to allow yourself to walk out into your future, making these connections, in particular in love. But it'll be happening in 3 different key areas where it touches down deep into your soul, your spirit, your inner child, takes you way back. And you want to do it without the truck, without the big knobby tires, right? And again, I'm sure that's symbolic. Take it out, resonates. It's about feeling powerful on your feet, standing on your own, Okay. Having a strong enough foundation under your feet because you have the strong foundation within yourself. No one on earth, no millionaire, okay, no alpha man, no powerful individual owning TV stations internationally, no one, none of these people, nobody from there on down has any real power until they learn to create it in here first. So you're being called out. 3 key areas. It's going to be a bit of a testing phase. This goes on for approximately 7 weeks. Thank you, Mike H. Good luck with that. We're going to move on to CJG121. CJG121. What is the most important message for CJG to hear at this time? Bells are ringing, the bells are calling. Something about paternal energies, grandfather energies. You're going to be receiving a lot of visits for the next couple weeks. I would say 2 to 3 in particular. But then it peaks again at between 5 and 6. So I don't know. It dies off and then it comes back. Okay, I see what it is. It's almost like a storyline is unfolding and you're going to collect a lot of information and then we're going to take a pause. We're going to process it, apply it, integrate it, and then walk it out. Okay, at the later dates, 5 to 6 weeks. A lot of this is going to come through, again, the men in your life who have been of major influence, living, deceased, whatever. Okay, so you'll be getting a lot of mediumship. The bells ringing in the right ear is significant of an increase in clairvoyance, your higher mind, your third eye opening. Okay, this is basically you on fire. So you are getting very psychic, mostly through clairaudience, which is going to be an alert system that some psychics and mediums and empaths have, where for most people, the right ear will ring, like a tinnitus or a feeling of pressure, or like a seashell is up to your ear. It could be heat. It could be tingling. I think for you, it's mostly going to be the bells ringing. So probably that annoying tinnitus. And then the visions are going to come into your head. The thoughts are going to pop into your head. The words are going to pop into your head, maybe as a song. So start Googling song lyrics that pop into your head, maybe as your own inner dialogue, or maybe hearing stuff like, lately I've been hearing phrases or like apart from a movie or something somebody said to me and they haven't even said it yet. They end up saying it later and I'm like, oh, they never actually said that. So I'm telepathically hearing something they're going to say to me. Okay. So you seem to be hitting on all these things that I'm talking about. And it's reaching a point. Your grandfathers are talking about, like, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, you're about to peak at an 8. That's a big deal. You're going to have to ask yourself going forward, what do I want to do with this? First of all, you need to take it very seriously as a point of direction in your life. Intuitive intelligence always trumps emotional intelligence. And, I'm not getting down on you, but I'm not going to sugarcoat. And you were there. I don't need to tell you. You have given way too much attention to emotional intelligence over the course of your life. Like you have gone along with what the old timers would say, in the 60s and 70s, like follow your heart. Your heart won't lie. Follow your feelings. Follow your bliss. That's terrible advice. Horrifying advice. Okay. Our feelings almost always lie. Think of how many messes it's gotten you into. How many times has your donkey been in a ditch and you had to get help to get out because you followed your feelings? Let that shit go. Okay. Enough. You're evolving out of it in a level 8. So it's like, okay, I have intuitive intelligence over here, strong enough to be able to trust my gut. and my emotional intelligence is looking like trash, okay, which is perfect. Leave that behind. And then you've also got logic, and logic can also try to compete with intuitive intelligence at times, but often they pair up pretty nicely. So it's a whole new way of thinking, it's a whole new way of living, and it's going to be a whole new way of learning. And then ultimately you need to figure out, what you want to do with it in the world. Do you want to give it out? That could go in a whole other storyline. Okay, so first things first, identify this. The bells are ringing and the grandfathers are helping you out with this, which is really cool, because normally when I see ancestors and loved ones and family members coming up, in regards to intuition, it's the ladies, but you got a lot of very psychic gentlemen in your family. It's pretty cool. All right, have a good time with it. Thank you. Next up is Vanessa Dempsey. Vanessa Dempsey, what is the most important message for Vanessa to hear at this time? Vanessa Dempsey, you've got what it takes. Stop shrinking, stop questioning yourself, try to cut yourself off when you're double-minded, catch it sooner, cut it off, okay? You know that it's time to move forward. You have been put recently. There's talk of the last 3. I'm reading this as 3 months, but something may have also happened with you in the last 3 days, 3 weeks, okay? But 3 months total, I'm reading it as like you've been put in power positions. You've been asked to take on more leadership. People are watching you, okay? You're being seen as the brand, which means that for the first time in your life, you're like becoming the queen on the throne, with the sword at her side, at rest, at ease, claiming everything to you. I don't chase, I attract. My cup runneth over. People are lucky to approach me to ask for things. Maybe I'll give it, maybe I won't, but they were lucky to even be able to come this close. You know your power, you know your value, you know your worth and knowledge and skill set and wisdom, and you know it's unmatched, because with you being seen as the brand, people in the world are no longer just seeing you for like, your job title and your who you know and your skills, your education, however long you've worked within that field and that company, like it's beyond that. This goes into character and integrity. And that cannot be earned at any job or from a book or from a certification. Okay. Character and integrity being witnessed by the world around you puts you in this queen on the throne energy. Now, you seem to have it just like, I don't know, going right above your head, in one ear and out the other. You're like, I don't know. And what's happening for the next ballpark 2 months, and then this peaks at 5 months out from then. Okay, so if you accomplish everything within the first 2 months, it's going to peak at 5 months. Okay, so it peaks. How's it peak? That's the payout, I think. Yeah. All right, so essentially, you have to put it into practice. You have to step into it. Okay? It's sort of step into it. Like, I don't know a lot about tarot. I don't even know what card that is. Okay, what card in tarot am I talking about where there's a queen on the throne? But I'm not talking about, like, I know the Empress card. That's not what I'm talking about. What the hell is it? Anyways, if you were to start visualizing yourself as that queen, or you print out that tarot card, or you start putting that tarot card on like your bathroom mirror, your bedroom wall, the visor in your car, have that shit dangling, okay, with your dice and, your evil eye pepper and shit. Like, have it right there in your face. There is a need for you to step officially into this energy, like carry it in your body, okay, and the way that you present and the way that you think, because right now you've moved into it, but now you're discombobulated and you're not seeing yourself the way you're being seen. And until you can see clearly how you're perceived, you can't manipulate, you can't navigate, you can't really strategize much. All right, it's going to be limited. You're at like 30%. Okay, we need to get you up to 100. Thank you, Vanessa Dempsey. We're going to move on to Heather. Heather, just Heather? Is that it? Is there like anything else to go with Heather? Hopefully there aren't too many Heathers here. We'll also timestamp. Okay, so if we need to add anything more to this one, we will. Heather, what is the most important message Heather needs to hear at this time? Loyalty. Loyalty is everything. Loyalty is everything. Okay. Don't worry about being alone. Don't worry about who you've invested in, what you've invested in. If you feel like people and situations are not being loyal to you, you are protected right now. You are going to need to either cut them off, or I was saying to a client earlier, you know what? You can love people, but you have to know, you can engage with people, but you have to know where they belong and you have to keep them there. Okay. You can also decide with some things, I don't want to renegotiate this contract. I'm not seeing the payout. You seem to have a lot of hesitancy in this area because you fear you maybe can't do some things on your own, or you're afraid to just be alone, or you have not made peace with the fact that a lot of what you do in regards to relationships is trying to be witnessed, trying to be seen, trying to be recorded, trying to be heard. I feel like my throat chakra is closing with you. You know, a lot of people are in relationships with others because they want their life to be witnessed. They feel that if it cannot be observed by someone, it's meaningless. This is the equivalent of going to the beach and seeing the most magnificent sunset you've ever seen and feeling so connected to yourself and your higher mind and the universe and your soul's purpose. And then all of a sudden realizing that you're alone on the beach. And if I don't take a video of this, if I don't take a photograph of this, if I can't post this on my Instagram, it doesn't matter. And you get distracted and you fucking miss the sun going down. You miss it. You missed it because you're looking out here for more. For what? For what? So there is a need for you to be honest and raw about what and who investments, contracts, people, relationships in your life are giving back to you. And where my stomach is going crazy because I'm fasting. Try to ignore it, people. But like where you aren't getting what you deserve, what was agreed upon, what is filling your cup. You have been, especially I would say in the last 2 years, willing to overgive, overreach, keep pouring into other people in these situations, hold space, act like it's okay or it's not a big deal, you know, make light of things. And it is that deep. It is. Okay. Loyalty. Loyalty is everything. And if it's not in your life right now in certain key areas, you either move them into a different category, you don't renegotiate or re-sign on those contracts, or you leave. Okay. You can also cut people and situations out entirely. Thank you. We're going to move on to the next one. Next up is Elvin Ramos. Elvin Ramos. What's the most important message for Elvin to hear at this time? Elvin Ramos, most important message for him to hear at this time. You got people coming in here for the next 8 weeks, talking at you. And you seem to be almost like, I don't know if you ever saw The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Has anyone ever seen this? You know, there's an image in that movie of her like at a food hall or something, you know, she's trying to eat and she can hear the scraping of the forks on the plate and she can hear people chewing and she loses her fucking mind. Okay. She basically just goes crazy. And it's a horrible, annoying sounds. Okay. And she can't take it anymore because she's overstimulated, to say the least. And that was like the breaking point. And this is what I think may be happening with you in the upcoming 8 weeks, is almost like a building of energy, of demands, of people chattering at you, of people also, because they're all coming over here in the right ear for you. I wonder if they're throwing you off of your intuition, your gut instinct, right? Your higher mind, your psychic ability, choosing the higher vibration with confidence. I wonder if all of this noise is making you feel dysregulated, obviously, but like disrupted in regards to what you know is true. You know, some days we wake up and we're like, the whole world could be burning down around me, right? Tower moments, everyone I meet, everyone's attitude is stank, and I am at peace. I am fluid, okay? I'm like a surfer. I'm riding the wave. I got it. I'm cool as a cucumber. I've got it. I am centered. And then other days, you know, we're just like a shit show too. And this is not a time in your life, especially for that time period that I mentioned. This is not a time in your life where you should be so easily distracted and disrupted and also absorbing of other people's energy, other people's words. You're going to have to learn, if you don't already know how, blocking techniques. You're going to have to use cleansing techniques, and you're going to have to tune people out. Shut that noise down, okay? It will help you to have the energy that you need for the life you're meant to build. And you know what's true, and you know what's high vibrational. You know what and who is good, and you know what's garbage. And sometimes you just choose to entertain it. I'm not sure why, but you need to work on that internally also, because we can't always point the finger out here. Well, this didn't work, or that went bad, or that person ended up being shit. And what about you? Did you know what was a better choice and you chose against your own self? Well, you know, it's time to face the music, okay? But it's ownership, it's accountability, it's a test. The universe is expecting you to pass, okay? But you're going to have to tune this out, because new level, new devil. And as soon as we go through one of these tests, the noise is just cranked up to the loudest volume. Thank you, Elvin. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? Next up is Heather from TikTok said that makes, okay. So this is Heather that I read. Good. So you know who you are and that was for you. Heather from TikTok said that makes so much sense. Yes. Thank you. This helps me validate my feelings and experiences. You're so welcome, Heather. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. Okay. Thank you for joining. And I always appreciate the testimonies, because, you know, there are other people watching and they're like, I don't know, this girl could be total shit. Okay. So like, I don't know. So this helps a lot. CJG121 is also giving feedback. Thank you so much, Ivy. Beautiful message. You're so welcome, CJG. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Love your energy. Love your vibe. Also, I forgot to ask you guys in the beginning of the show, could everyone give this video a thumbs up? It really does help me out in the algorithm. Please do subscribe, share this video. I'm sure someone who follows you could definitely use a message tonight. And if you are on YouTube, hit that hype button. Next up is Patricia. Patricia, what is the most important message Patricia needs to hear at this time? Patricia, seems like there's some type of dividing up of resources coming in for you. So this could be contracts, this could be real estate, this could be inheritances, this could be blah, 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 blah. Okay, all the things. I don't want to waste your whole reading on like all the different ways that resources can come in. Okay, but it's basically all that stuff. And there is some talk here of you needing to, you have a grandmother who comes through here, and it feels like another maternal energy. Okay, mom's side of the family, with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, so when the ladies come in, everything gets real chill. It's like, make a pot of coffee. Okay, get the cigarettes out. Let's have at this. Okay, let's go through it. One bill at a time, one contract at a time, one option at a time. We want to, if you're trying to also move resources, what's the best option? what's going to bring the biggest turnout? What has the, if you're looking at anything with expenses like loan, what has the lowest interest rate? Da, 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 da. Okay. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and just making sure that you're calm, cool, collected, and comprehending everything. There is a lot of talk here also about fairness and divine timing. So know that as you go forward for, I want to say probably the next 2 to 4 months, but this seems to peak around 6 months out from now. You could be looking at all things financial, all things resource related, all things investment related as well, forward thinking, future thinking, okay, building of the foundation, using resources as leverage, rolling things over, in particular with the real estate or upgrades to the residency or changes in the workspace would also count here. So if you're looking at moving from one workspace to another, okay, we're talking about leverage here. This is a great opportunity for you. I mean, basically, I feel like you're going into a 5-month period of like, I'm leveling up. But it could feel like Santa just came or the mailman just came and dumped a whole bag of mail or a whole bag of presents out. And you're like, okay, I got to open these one at a time. I have to go through things one at a time. And I'm hearing the African saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And they will be helping you through that process. Ultimately, you're coming out the other end. I really want to say, like, no matter how you do this, I mean, don't get sloppy, of course, and don't rest on your laurels and don't get burnt out. But it's like you're coming out the other end a new person. I see you going from being a caterpillar to a butterfly, and they're sending you monarch butterflies, by the way. And I want to say this: freedom to have better experiences than what you've been having. Okay. Freedom to call the shots and freedom to not have to like worry or think about maybe some different resources that you had been. And you'll be feeling and really fully understanding everything that's coming up with this message today, approximately 2 years out from now, when it hits and you're like, I made it. Okay. I made it. This is a big deal. Thank you, Patricia. And ladies. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Anna Pekka. What's the most important message Anna needs to hear at this time? You seem to need to zig and zag a little bit more through what appears to be a bit of an obstacle course for the upcoming 3 months, where you could be feeling as though there are roadblocks, there are naysayers, there's a lack of smoothness, okay, to the road, to the path that I'm currently on. Maybe you wanted some things. Maybe you thought that if you headed out into the world and you started, launching your work, okay, you thought it was going to go a specific way. And you believed that. You really did, because you did your research. You weren't like clowning around. You understood the nature of these things, and you were looking at maybe other people's patterns or how it's gone in the past. You have compared what you're doing to other people in like similar fields, et cetera, et cetera. And what you're finding, okay, is that you're on this road and it's like not happening that way. And so the solution is not just to like, keep pushing on the gas. It's like, well, I'm just going to go faster. Well, I'm going to run over these things. Now I've blown out a tire and I hope somebody comes to rescue me, or now I'm out of commission for 6 weeks because I have to fix this thing. No more of that. It's time to learn how to zig, how to zag, how to predict patterns, and how to react to them ahead of time, how to be more proactive with things. It's essentially like putting yourself, I got this for somebody earlier, it's putting yourself on offense and getting off of defense. Defense with a smile, defense with a positive attitude, defense with, I'm sure this will all work out. Like, just screw defense altogether. Okay. How can you get into offense and be more strategic. Okay. Now, strategy is only really going to happen through experience. Strategy is only really going to be knowledge. Okay. When you are learning how to go through this obstacle course instead of like, I don't know, acting like it's not an obstacle course. This feels very much like you're kind of feeling maybe like a mouse in a maze. And, there are some mice who just refuse to go get the cheese. Like there are some mice who refuse to try to find a way out. There are some mice that just roll over and give up, and then there are others that are constantly working at it. And then, you've got others that will chew through the wall if they have to. You know what I'm saying? There are different approaches to this. And the suggestion here is that you become the strategy mouse. Okay, the mouse who learns through trial and error and is willing to accept the maze for what it is and not be a bulldozer, because you're never going to win that way, and not be intimidated and just roll over or be a victim to it. Okay. You have to start seeing clearly what's going on here with this situation, because it isn't feeling like it's turning out the way you thought it would, and we need to examine then why that is. Okay. And get going on making sure that you could still have what you're supposed to have. Thank you, Anna. We're going to move on to Anne Marie Delora. Anne Marie Delora, what's the most important message Anne Marie Delora needs to hear at this time? Okay. I feel I'm not encouraging drinking. I'm not encouraging not drinking, I guess. I feel like for the next 2 weeks, Spirit just wants you to put everything down. Put everyone down. Put everything down. Put your to-do list down. Put all the commands and the demands and the self-work and the to-do list. I must do this and I must do that. And what's going on with this relationship? And I don't know. I got somebody texting you and you're like, oh, I got to answer that. I'm just leave them there. They'll always come back. Okay. They're like puppies. It's not important. It's for the next 2 weeks. You are supposed to be dancing in the moonlight. You're supposed to be dancing alone. You're supposed to be dancing, maybe even in a group with other people. I don't know. Maybe you go to a concert or something. Okay. But like you're just dancing. And I see you with some tropical drinks. Now, again, I don't encourage drinking per se, but if that's your thing, is to have a few drinks and to cut loose. This could be quite literal. This could also be just symbolic of you needing to take the next couple weeks to celebrate yourself. I just heard the word vacation. Now, maybe you are going somewhere. I didn't think you were, but whatever. Okay. It's like you're taking a vacation from your life, a staycation maybe, okay, is more accurate here. And you are doing whatever feeds your soul. You could also be going to museums or classes or exploring, or taking little shopping trips, or being like, I don't know what's happening, but today I'm going to get a latte. I went to a coffee shop I've been meaning to get into today, and I got, I could not even believe it. It was like every dream of mine was on the, on the menu. I got an espresso milk amaretto cherry with an extra shot. I like, where did these people come from? Okay. It was like God herself came down and handed it to me. It was just amazing. And I didn't know where the hell I was going. And I went to the beach, and then I had to use the bathroom. So I went somewhere else, and then I ended up shopping. And then I ended up all over the place today. Went and got a reading for myself. It feels like you're supposed to do that for the next 2 weeks. What? I don't know what. I don't care what. It doesn't matter whatever I feel in the moment. Sometimes you just need to let go, and you need to do it for more than a few hours. All right. I feel like this is a reset, because you have been giving off some confusing energy to the universe about who you are, what you want, what you're manifesting, and we got to get law of attraction in order. And it starts with joy. Anne-Marie, have a good time. Anne-Marie Delora said, I don't drink, so it must be symbolic. It was symbolic of doing whatever you want to do through ingesting things. Now, if it looked like a tropical kind of a margarita or a pina colada or a strawberry daiquiri or whatever, because I'm seeing all these like fruity drinks, this is symbolic of what you consume. And when I'm talking about consumption, I'm not just talking about food and drinks. I'm also talking about the way you think, what you're entertaining, what you're watching, who, if you're going to be talking to a bunch of other people, who you're talking to, okay? Because like art museums, dancing, music came up. Okay, so what are you taking in? What are you taking in? It should read in your body and your soul like a daiquiri on the beach. Okay, it should be amazing. So 2 weeks of celebrating. Love it. All right, thank you, Anne-Marie. We're going to move on to Edgar 93. Edgar said, thank you for the message, Ivy. You're welcome, Edgar. Thank you for being here as always. I appreciate you so much. Next up is Maraid. Maraid. What is the most important message Maraid needs to hear at this time? The most important message for Maraid? Damn. Did you guys hear that? Jaws freaking popping. My back hurts. Okay. It feels like for the next 3 to 4 days, and this is like a 7-day cycle total, but it feels like for the next 3 to 4 days, you're supposed to be just like shaking energy out, releasing. You have a lot of other people's energy in your energy field right now. You have a lot of other people's thoughts clogging up your brain right now. You have a lot of other people's desires pulling and tugging at you and knocking on your door and like just trying to get in and like, there's a resistance. You have a resistance to this. You have a lot of other people's, I'm going to blame the eclipse on this one. You have a lot of other people's like emotions and desperation and depression. Okay. Anxiety, existential crises. I mean, like a lot happening there in a way where normally maybe you don't have this sense that you've absorbed it to this degree. You're aware of it, but you are pretty good at managing it. And maybe right now, not so much. Okay. It crept in there. It got in there. And again, I'm going to blame the eclipse on that because you think you know boundaries and then an eclipse hits and we're all just like wild animals, It's very rudimentary. Okay. We have to start on a new level from scratch with all of that cleansing and blocking and releasing and getting rooted and grounded. Okay. And making sure that we are back in power position, point center, like I am an observer, not an absorber. You've got a lot of cleanup to do because otherwise it's like jacking up maybe your back. I can't prescribe a diagnose. Grinding of the teeth. This could also just be pressure in the head and things like this. So that's the universe's order for you for the next, I would say about 4 to 5 days. This is a 7-day process. Somebody could also be trying to talk to you in the 7th day. And I heard, don't get set back. Don't get set back. Between the 7th and the 8th day, somebody tries to talk to you. And it's like, don't revert back into all that after you cleaned it all up. Somebody may be wanting something more of you at that time. This feels like romantic. And you may start to second guess yourself or become double-minded. Okay. And be like, well, I don't know, maybe I should, or maybe guilt tripping. Like you're guilt tripping your own self though. I don't want to blame them. Really, I mean, I could, but like, should you, I guess is the question. You should blame them or should you kind of blame you? If you try to guilt trip yourself sometimes into engaging with people because they want more of you and you shouldn't or you don't want to, whatever. No is a complete answer. That's on you. Okay. So you're going to have to get that. You're going to have to get that in check, but it will come up. Thank you, Maraid. We're going to move on to the next one. Who do we have? Melissa Subia. Melissa Subia. What's the most important message for Melissa to hear at this time? Melissa Subia. Melissa Subia. Most important. You have, I can't tell if this is a daughter. You have a female, a younger female in your vicinity who is incredibly empathic, like level 4, may have been born with the cord around the neck, right? Or like almost lost as a baby, maybe. Yeah, she's pretty young. She's like always had it. So usually it's something there. And she is looking to you to like heal you, to fix you, to put your mind at ease. If you are going through any type of difficulty, you've got these eyes on you. And she is not saying anything about it, but she is trying to fix. You know, she's trying to fix you. She's trying to heal it. She's trying to correct it. She's trying to bring you to a path where you feel happier and like more optimistic about your future instead of down and heavy. I keep hearing marshmallows. You know, if she can offer you something sweet in life, whether it's like, you know, food or desserts, and she may lean into that. Like she may eat, you know, sweets to try to uplift herself to compensate for all the healing energy she's giving out involuntarily to people. As a level 4 empath, that's a common problem. Okay. I have an empathic awareness training up on my website, so you may want to check that out. But I do think that she is looking to learn more about empathic ability and about mediumship, somewhat about psychic ability. And I feel like you're really becoming a master in these areas. And why you guys don't talk about this all the time is beyond me. But you need to engage. Okay, you need to engage, bring it up. It's an opportunity for the two of you to connect, talking about intuition, mediumship, how to use it, how to do it, you know, maybe even through, I see tarot cards. So maybe even through like, I don't know, girls' night, you know, like we could give each other readings, something like this. It shouldn't end there though. Okay. That shouldn't limit things. It should evolve into dialogue about everyday life experiences and dream analysis and who we are and like our heritage and how this runs in the bloodline and how important it is to apply to your life, not just like, I don't know, tarot flip love readings, who gives a shit, you know what I mean? Like, how about how this applies to our life contract and our bigger purpose and, you know, our lessons and our growth. And there needs to be more mentoring there. And there needs to be less fix it energy. Okay. More rooted and grounded energy. This person could, you know, needs to learn also, not just in regards to like you, but you could use yourself as an example because you could see her doing it. You could see her trying to fix things energetically. And it's like, it's almost like you want to set her free. You want to let her know, okay, the way you've done that with me, you do it out in the world and people drain her out in the world, you know? So she needs to get the upper hand. It's time. And you seem to be the teacher. All right. So this is really interesting. A supportive soulmate contract, a work contract between the two of you. Beautiful. Thank you, Melissa. We're going to move on to the next one. Next up is Josie. Josie, what is the most important message Josie needs to hear at this time? You know, I feel a need for you to be around either more animals or you may be attracting strays at this time. There could be some dirty old mutt looking dog, I don't know, just coming up to you on the street, or spending more time in nature is another outlet, you know, going down to the water. Not that the water isn't nature, but I don't know. I think people tend to think of it as its own thing because it's not like the woods, you know, there are no like trees involved or mountains or anything. It's just water. Yeah. It's nature, it's about you letting go, it's about you releasing some things that have built. There's talk of the last 7 to 8 months. There's heaviness. It's not like a monkey on your back per se. It's kind of like a bunch of bricks that have just been added. If you had a big old backpack on and somebody came up and they were like, oh, by the way, these 3 bricks are yours. And then somebody else came by and they were like, oh, by the way, here's one more. And then, hey, can you carry mine? And then, somebody threw some junk on there and you didn't even know. And it eventually is just so heavy. And you feel like you're the only one who can carry it. You feel like you're the only one who can do things in your life. You're the only one you can count on. Okay. You may have been going through a period of mental distress. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but maybe even like seeking out a new therapist or watching videos on self-help or, trying to find ways to decompress and to de-stress and to regulate better. And it's almost this sense of like nothing's helping, because you still got these freaking bricks on your back, I mean, you can breathe through it all you want. You can use all the visualizations and the meditations and the blocking exercises and the getting rooted and grounded. You need to let the bag down. You need to put the bag down. Okay. I feel that the only way this can really fully happen for you, so you can, whether you want to call this shadow work or you want to say that this is therapeutic or transitional or alchemy from pain to power, transmutation of old energies, okay, whatever it is, a change in mentality, call whatever you want. Nature, connection with animals, getting reconnected to the universe. It's going to have to happen that way. And I don't think you've taken that part of it very seriously. I also just want to remind you that when you do this, when you connect, you have it all sort of taken care of for you. Okay. It's a self-healing. It does the work. It's like a, I keep hearing self-cleaning oven or, it's like it just cleanses out without all this effort, especially if you've been like, oh, I'll use crystals or stones or, I'm using these different vitamins and minerals and, stuff like this. No, like this is the solution for you. Okay. There was also talk here of maybe you've been feeling like you're a little disconnected from like spirit, your higher mind, intuition. Okay. You're going to reconnect. So give it the time that it deserves. And don't forget that if you're like, well, I go out and I walk, or I've been walking outside, you have to take your shoes off. You have to be barefoot. Okay. Thank you, Josie. We're going to move on. Who do we have next? Tiffany Williams, 6252. Tiffany Williams. What is the most important message Tiffany needs to hear at this time? The most important message for Tiffany at this time? You are the turtle. You are the turtle. Also hearing you are the sunshine of my life. I feel like this is like a dad energy. You have paternal energy coming in here, keeping an eye on you. You are the sunshine of my life. This is a little before my time. What is this? I want to say Richie. Lionel Richie? You are the sunshine of my life. Is that accurate? I would be very impressed with myself if that's accurate. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's like, somebody let me know in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, you are the sunshine of my life. It's why I'll always be around. I'll always be around. Sunshine. That's why I'll always be around. Okay. He's just trying to let you know he's always there. And he's always watching. And he's always coming in right before you need him. And if you're ever sad, I'm plopped down right beside you, just in time, right? He's also showing up in your dreams. And you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Okay, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. The children's rhyme. Sending you sunflowers also and butterflies. Some of these look like moths. I don't know. These aren't the most impressive butterflies I've ever seen. Some are hairy and they could use a comb. They look like moths. But whatever. You know, white ones, some yellow ones. I don't know. He's a guy. What do we want? You know? But anyways, I feel like he's trying to remind you too that you're a wildflower. That you're a wildflower. Don't forget that you're a wildflower. Okay, and now I'm hearing where the roses bloom. Is this Dolly Parton? Dolly Parton. She's a wild rose. A wild rose will bloom anywhere. Okay. You're it's like you're leaving. I don't know how else to describe everything he's showing me and how I feel about this other than to say, I feel like you're done. You know, I feel like you are ready to head out into the world and you're creating this whole new life for yourself. But it's not like heavy lifting and hard labor and drudgery and, you know, the intimidation of the unbeaten path and the newness of it all. No, you've already done all that. Nope, you've already done all that. This is like an extension of your creation. This is like when we're watching, you know, a skyscraper go up. You like the foundation is already there. It just goes higher and higher and higher and higher. Like you're getting into higher ground, you know, higher territory. You are becoming the butterfly. He keeps showing rainbows here as well, which is pot of gold at the end of the rainbow after the storm, if you've been going through hardship or loneliness or isolation, okay, and hopes and dreams coming true. So out with the old, in with the new. The rainbow is also a bridge from an old way of life into a new way of life. There's a lot to celebrate here, a lot to celebrate. You may feel in some ways you're going it alone a little bit, but you're going to be meeting new people on your path. And now he's showing me Fraggle Rock. I don't know how familiar you are with this, but like the Doozers, you know, the Doozers were always like building every day. They would go out and they would build and then they would like eat what they built. They were all like their architectural, the whole structure was sugar. They were clear sugar sticks and they would eat them and they would get high and then they would just like enjoy each other's company. I don't know. This is this is a trippy ass message. I blame him. I don't know. You're meeting people along the way, but it's true. That's how life is. Like people message me all the time and they say, I'm panicked to leave this friend group. It doesn't fit anymore. I'm panicked to leave my spouse. Doesn't fit anymore. I'm panicked. You know, my kids are going off to, like, I can't replace. I'm worried I can't replace. You don't have to do shit in life. Like all you have to do is be where you're meant to be. And the people come to you. They come right to you. The universe just crosses paths. This is what contracts are. You know, you just have to be receptive and open. It's almost like where you were outside of Fraggle Rock in the dumpster, in the dump with the garbage queen. And then it's like you went in and you were like, oh, here are the Doozers. Like, here's everything. Let's build. Like, you just jump in and it's a good time. Okay. And everyone's there as they need to be there. That went all over the place. Anyways, you're ending an old cycle. You're going into a new cycle. Okay. And he loves you and it's fun and it's exciting. And whatever hardship you've been through with the rainbow, it won't happen again. And don't forget this new phase in your life isn't like a restructure entirely as much as it is an expansion, which is a huge deal in a life contract because the first time you have an extension point, an expansion point, is that means that you no longer have to go through any other level ups for the rest of your life where you break down everything you previously built and start over. It's all expansion from here. Okay. So it's a big deal. Thank you, Tiffany. Moving on. Who do we have next? Never know what you're going to get here with the Unbound Sage. Neither do I. All right, Mel Subi. This is feedback from Mel Subi. Okay, so Mel Subi got the message where I was talking about like a younger female. She's supposed to mentor, like we got mediumship, going on. Melsubi said, oh my God, it's like you're a psychic or something. That's my daughter, Missy. And we were just talking about all this stuff last night. Thank you so much, Ivy. That's incredible timing. It is time. She is ready. And you're the teacher. That is so fun. I'm happy for you too. Beautiful. Thank you for the feedback. Deborah Rose is next. Deborah Rose. What is the most important message Deborah Rose needs to hear at this time? The most important message for Deborah Rose at this time. All right. So you got some bullshit coming in here. You know, you've got the struggle bus coming and trying to make it look like, I don't know, it's going to the Hamptons or some shit, you know, and it's like, I'm no fool. You know, I have you in like Long Island, like nails done, hair, self fur, like you know, I know my worth. I'm standing on business, right? It's like money, honey. It's like you've got everything that you need. You're in a power position. You're looking pretty. And here comes this struggle bus. And it's like, and like music's playing, like people are waving out the windows, you know, it's like a Brazilian like party bus. And they're trying to like get you to come on and they're trying to get you to come dance with them. And you're just like, are there other buses coming? Or like, should I don't even know. Okay. I think that the issue may end up being that you feel like you have to, or you don't feel as though it's really being given as an option. Now, sometimes we do have a ton of options, but we're not thinking that way. So this is a time in your life where you need to think outside the box. I would say for the next 4 weeks in particular, okay, we're thinking outside the box. If opportunities are coming toward us, we have to really be very analytical about them. If people are coming toward us to create drama, to bring trauma, to trauma dump, because their energy is low, because they want to drain you, okay? And you may have even been the type of person who used to do this. You may have been the type of person who didn't like walk into a room and own your energy, right? You may have been the type of person that was like kind of heavy or dragging or sort of negative Nancy. And some of this is karmic. Okay. I got this for somebody earlier. It's kind of like a face the music time. So karmic debt owed. Okay. If you've learned and you've been correcting your energy and you've been deliberately more high vibrational, this is something you have to recognize then. When people are coming at you with that, you have to say, well, with my high vibrational energy, you know, I have to protect it. I have to shield myself. I have to use blocking techniques. I think with some of these people, because these are all people, you may want to use binding. You may want to use reversal ceremonies. Okay. But blocking helps a lot. And that's just you on you. You could do a lot, you know, just with you there, forgetting about their energy. But you got a lot coming at you. And I don't feel like any of it is productive. I don't feel like any of it is real in relation to you having to engage, you having to pick up the offer. It's almost like if somebody came at you, you know, in gym class with a big dodgeball, you know, like a big rubber ball, and they were like going to whack it at your head. As long as you're perceptive and you're paying attention, okay, you can just dodge, you can just duck, you can just weave, you can move out of the way. You don't have to get hit with it. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to throw it back. You don't have to play this game. All right. So here comes the struggle bus full of people who are looking to get you to get on. And if you are tied up in that, you're going to go down the wrong path and you could miss better opportunities. Okay. Wealthier opportunities. And so we are quite literally talking some money here being affected, your resources being affected. All right. No, thank you. Nope. I will find another way to the Hamptons. Okay. Know your value, know your worth, and don't play. Thank you, Deborah. Anne Marie Delora. Okay, this is number 2. Okay, number 2 for Anne Marie Delora. Give me a different message, please, than what Anne Marie got the first time. There's talk of your teeth. And I can't prescribe a diagnose, but if you've been doing anything with your teeth where it's like gums and maybe whitening or any type of dental work that, maybe takes a few visits, or if you've been putting it off. Okay, just make sure you're on it. Make sure you're on the ball with that. Stay on it. You may have also been investing more with like a water pick or, different types of mouthwashes and stuff. It's just taking better care. Enamel protection and stuff like this is taking better care. This also feels a bit symbolic of work and money change and not biting off more than you can chew. So it's an important time for you to, who is this? You've got some fruit fly pestering guy. You've got some guy. Don't bite off more than you could chew with him. Okay. If you have had a tendency in the past to mother over homosexuals or man-child types or F-boys, or, I could go on and on. There's a whole list of problems here. If you addicts, always the victim. Peter Pan syndrome. Good Lord. If you have had a tendency to attract boys, men who need a lot of caretaking, who want to extract, who expect your labor, who in the patriarchal system feel entitled to your time, attention, affection, energy, who you have therapized, okay? You have got to recognize early on when someone like that is attracted to you, like a moth to the flame, and to understand any tendency you may still have residually here to give there, to overreach, to keep them on a line. Maybe at this point you just like their attention, You're like, well, I won't do that. But wanting their attention is still that part of you wanting to keep a cord to that old habit, that old storyline, that old you, that old tendency. Okay. And it's not about changing the outward habits. It's not like, well, I won't overreach with him, or I won't, sleep with him again, or I won't, take his ridiculous texts or phone calls or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not about the habits and the outward activity. It's about the way you think about it. It's about what you won't entertain mentally, emotionally, energetically. So it feels like a cord has to be cut here. And it's coming, the platform through which you can see it and learn and reflect on yourself. Okay, be introspective and cut the cord is through this person. It's one person in particular. I think, unless this is just, I think it's one person. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Even though I see a pattern of similar people, like that list I called off, I still think this is one person coming in to show you that. So if you've been saying like, why is this person here? That's why. Okay. That's what this is. Okay. And don't bite off more than you can chew, because it will be a setback energetically. The universe is watching. Thank you, Anne-Marie. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? And how many more do we have, Diana? Tiffany Williams is giving some feedback. Okay, so Tiffany already got her reading. Was that crazy reading? Did you get the one where the guy came through and like went all over the map? I mean, it made sense, but Tiffany Williams said, Ivy, wow, what a reading. I actually understand a lot of that. It's really nice to hear the positive rainbows and roses and the song. You made my day. Thank you. Yeah, that was you. That was, that it's very dynamic. Okay, good. I'm glad it made some sense. Go back and listen. You know, this will publish in 24 hours. It'll unfold. Isabella Constantino. Isabella Constantino. How many more, Diana? Isabella, what is the most important message for Isabella to hear at this time? It feels like you're taking a larger piece of artwork and you're selling it. You could be selling it for prints. You could be selling it to art exhibit or a museum, or selling it off to someone who wants to kind of claim it. You appear to have two other pieces that are stemming from this, which could be part of a series, but I didn't take it that way. Take it out resonates. It looks more like I'm talking about business opportunities based off of this piece. Now, you could have also sort of met this, you know, networking opportunity with this person. We would start to call this shared income at this point. And they just want more. Okay. So you also have, okay, who is that? I don't know if it's Brandon. I don't know if it's Brandon or Jacob. But I have, and I heard a Nick as well. All these guys coming from. You have a lot of men approaching you, and they may want to help you. They may do something similar to what you do. They may be really invested in what you do, you know, and they want to help you build, and they want to help you get out there, and they want to help you network. And that's great. Okay, that's great. Maybe they just want to be your runner. Okay, maybe they just want to carry all your shit. Maybe they just want to, okay, help you vending and then pack it back up. Okay, that's great. But it feels like there's a romantic element here, no doubt. And then it also feels like there is some genuine help that they can offer that can help you elevate in your career. I'm also feeling stress or heaviness in your heart or anxiety. So if you've been going through any kind of depression, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but depression or worry or buildup of energy in your body where you're like concerned, okay, about how you're doing physically, mentally, emotionally, I guess we could include with this because it is now affecting that, you know. It feels like it's important for you to, and I don't want to sound heartless when I say this, but with everything you have going on, with the bright future ahead of you, with all the opportunities currently in flow, because let's face it, they're not always in flow. Okay, the universe has periods of time where we're just sitting still. We're cooling our heels. This is so in flow. I would take whatever stress, anxiety, you know, worries you're having, especially about anything physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, and I would just get the help and get the tools, whether it's talking to a therapist or the doctor or doing more with motion, you know, walking and I don't want to say physical therapy per se, but like, you know, just motion to keep everything moving. Okay, maybe even Reiki or energy work. You know, you do okay with meditation, but it's a little too stiff. We need more fluid energy, okay? Because it's almost like saying, this is important and I want to process everything that's going on in here, but I don't want it to prevent me from having access to these conversations and people and networking opportunities and the work that I have over here. I will naturally feel better, okay, about a lot of things as this grows. It's almost like this fixes this, and we can't go in reverse, okay? So you've got a lot going on. You got a lot coming up. This is very exciting. Enjoy. Thank you, Isabella. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? God damn. Thank you, Diana. Veronica. Oh, Rivas. Okay. Veronica Rivas, 9869. Veronica, what is the most important message that Veronica needs to hear at this time? You're getting your roses. You're getting your flowers. You're being recognized. And you're like, who, me? Yeah, you. You're on stage. You're being seen. You're being heard. You're beyond qualified. You may not always recognize this. You know, sometimes people like, and I'm one of these. I'm not good at taking compliments. If somebody compliments me, I almost feel like I want to fight or like hide or I'm offended. It's ridiculous. But some of us have not received love and affection in healthy ways or at all, or you know, you have had experiences in your life where you've learned to bypass. It's like you can reach a point in life where even if love is given, you can no longer receive it. Even if love is given and acknowledgement and compliments, you can't even hear it anymore. It's fallen on deaf ears. It's irrelevant. You know, there is a point of no return. And the only way to get back to connecting with it, receiving it, is to be mindful of your habits where you're tuning it out, you're overlooking it, you're dismissing it. You could have been living for so long in a state of, I'm hearing oppression, but I was actually going to say like hypervigilance, overproduction, that it feels foreign. You know, it feels weird to you to be shown gratitude and to be getting your flowers, roses of all things. I see red roses, okay, which is like, you could also have a birthday or anniversary right around this time. Watch for any loved ones with passing anniversaries as well. But this is about you being loved for you being appreciated for you being shown gratitude for the work that you do. Character, integrity, diligence, consistency. You know, you do this with work. Yes, you do this with your, you know, with your money and your resources and in those environments. But you also, I'm hearing from your spirits, you come hell or high water, you will be there for someone. You are loyal almost to a fault, okay? But like you will be there for somebody too. I don't know if you have some significant cancer placement in your chart here, maybe in your big three, but it's about damn time is what I'm hearing. It's about damn time you got your flowers. Now, it's not enough to get the flowers. Being given the flowers doesn't mean anything if you can't see them and smell them and receive them and roll around in them, okay? And then dry the petals and make potpourri out of it. I mean, you need to fully embrace. This started, I'm going to say maybe three to 4 days ago. So it's coming, okay? And it's coming now permanently, but you're in a new phase in life and you deserve it. Okay, you're beautiful. And wherever you feel like you recognize what I was talking about earlier with like, you know, being in such high performance mode that you don't know how to sort of come down off of it, right? And relax and breathe and have fun and take downtime, or you've not received love and gratitude in the way that you should have, so that when it shows up, you don't even recognize it. Like it can't penetrate, doesn't get in. Falling on deaf ears. If you recognize anything that I said earlier, and if you don't, search, because it's there, it came up for a reason. and start working on those areas. You have a grandmother coming through, shows it like a knotted necklace, right? You ever a necklace you love, and then one day you go in to put it on, you're like, shit, the whole thing is so knotted up. You're going to have to get a needle. You're going to have to pull it apart. And sometimes it never comes apart, you know? It's a tangled mess. Okay. And so this could have a lot to do with shadow work coming up. But anyways, enjoy your roses. Veronica. Was it Veronica? Did I say your name right? I think so. Thank you. We are going to move on. Next up is A. Miller 444. A. Miller 444. What's the most important message A. Miller needs to hear at this time? Most important. Something about your car, something about the engine, something about a rattling, something about maybe like smoke or oils or fluids. Be mindful of anything going on, keeping an eye, even if you just made repairs and it's like something else is going on. I didn't know too if there was something going on with like the alignment or like a rattling near the wheels. Anyways, keep an eye on the vehicle. You may be asking if it's time to get a different vehicle or making plans for the future to put yourself in like a ride that you really enjoy, you know, that you really want. There's also talk of music here, music coming from spirit, the universe, maybe even your higher mind sending you songs, but coming on the radio. Now, the image of songs coming on the radio is about that in the literal sense and needing to like Google the lyrics and understand how you're being given direction in life and or confirmation. This is going to be increasing for the next 4 months, but sometimes this is about songs popping in your head. It doesn't have to be through like the radio or your phone or your playlist. Okay. It can come from anywhere. Someone walks by you and they're humming a song, they're singing a song. You're driving down the street and there's a festival and you can hear the band playing a certain song. Okay. So it's coming. It's reminding you that you are the sun, that you're like a sunrise. I keep hearing is this New Orleans? What is this? What is that song about the sun in New Orleans? I can't grab it. I'm hearing the sun in New Orleans. It was like a 70s song. Okay. You are entering into a phase in your life where you are becoming the captain of your ship. So it's not just like you appreciating the sunrise or you going toward the sunrise. It's like you are the sunrise and you're recognizing that you are the sailboat, that you are the captain, that you are the water, that you are the wind, you are the waves, you are the sunrise, you are the sky, you are the clouds, you are the sand, you are the earth, you are the, like, you're coming into this recognition that you are everything and everything is for you in some way, shape, or form. Everything around you, everyone you meet, everything that happens every day, it's a performance for you to tap in more to self-love and self-care and authenticity, who you are. That's all. Okay. This is all for you. This is all about you. This is all you. It feels like up until this point, you have been like in the bottom of the boat, like rowing with the slaves, just like, I don't know, hoping for a crust of bread to come, you know what I mean? Like in just like almost like a real heavy state. Okay. Of like, you may have had a long period of time where you were like, every day you were like, what fresh hell is this? You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot of joy, for sure, but you are realizing how powerful you are and you have let go. You've done the hard work. There's talk of the last 3 years. You have let go karmically of things, people, situations, contracts of all forms that weren't serving you and your growth. And you're a prime example of what I say to people when I talk about like new level, new devil, or every time the bus stops, somebody's got to get off. In order for a new door to open, another door has to close, and what it means to level up in regards to detoxing first. Everybody wants to level up. Everybody wants to manifest. Everybody wants to be more and have more and shine more and live more, but they don't want to let go of the shit that's holding them down, right? That has no place in their life. You can't take that crap. You can't take that crap with you. And so it's like you've cleared everything, okay? And now all this power, all this energy. Now also, and I'll wrap it up with this, the symbol of you being the sun can mean that everyone else and everything else is going to be orbiting around you for a while, okay? And that may feel like a really interesting energy, like you're not used to that. So recognize it, okay? And learn how to play with it and strategize, use it to your advantage. And the sun radiates healing energy outward as well, okay? Interesting. Thank you, A. Miller. We're going to move on. Veronica Rivas says, thank you for that message. You're welcome, Veronica. Thank you for being here. This is number 2 for Mairead. Give me something Mairead didn't already get, please. Number 2 for Mairead. Mairead. Most important message Mairead needs to hear at this time. I think this is an investment in either your motorcycle or a vehicle. Unless this is something like a scooter or a moped. I'm seeing all your coins, and there's question of your coins. And if we were to look at the pennies and we were to say, look, I got all these pennies. Like I've got bigger coins. I've got stacks of bills. I've got bigger money than this. What if I just took all the pennies and I put them into a fun ride that I love, that I really enjoy? What if I did that? And that's the question. It's almost like you're reading your message as just a question. What if you did that? Are you going to do that? I don't feel necessarily like you have to do that, or, it's super critical, but it is just pennies. All right. And I would say that this could be symbolic of anything that makes you happy at this stage in your life and going forward, anything that makes you feel joy, right? And you're like hesitant to invest in it. I don't know if I should put my energy over there. I'm fearful about putting my attention this way. I don't know if I should be putting my money into this. I don't know. It's almost like not living. It's almost like waiting for another sign or, someone else's approval or better conditions or, a rainy day. It's almost like holding off on life. So just know that where you are right now, the universe is asking you, okay, if you should be investing in more in the things that make you really joyful. And, the answer is yes, of course. But there's also a sense here of you closing a door on old investments that were draining you. So you may have gone through 5 years, ballpark, where you were overly investing in relationships, contracts, agreements that you had made in your head from previous programming about how you were obligated, or that made you more desirable or made you fit in with society better. You had to. It secured your future in some way. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to go it alone. It secures my position with these other people, whether it be family, friends, community, coworker, like whatever it is. You are closing the door on the last ballpark 5 years. This could go back as far as 7, some of these issues. You're closing it like now, in a week, maybe 2 weeks. I mean, really, whenever you're done with the last of the thoughts okay, that need to be processed in this. But it's officially over, and you're stepping into a whole new chapter where you are making sure that you call the shots. You don't do anything, engage with anyone, or invest in any way from a place of fear. Fear being ego, and you are only making your choices from a higher vibrational place from here on out. Faith, positivity, love. Okay, this is huge. Absolutely huge. Wow. Thank you, Maraid. A. Miller is giving feedback. He said, thanks, Ivy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Good to see you. Okay, we are going to do last call. All right, you guys, this is it. So if you have not dropped your donation, go ahead and do so at this time. And if you guys have not liked this video, please like it. You know, I asked everybody to like yesterday, and it was like a really busy show, and it only had like 5 likes. So I know you see the button and you're not pushing the button. There's no good excuse for that. Shame. Shame, shame. Icy Z Trina. Christina. Okay, Christina is next. Christina. What is the most important message Christina needs to hear at this time? Christina. You seem to be dealing with some paranormal energies, and I don't want to freak you out, but how do I not freak you out? You're probably somewhat freaked out. You're probably aware, okay, to a degree. And I don't know who these men are who are around you. I can't tell if these are like brothers, but you seem to have in your space, you seem to have men coming in and out who may be into like video games or hitting the bong a lot or like fantasy world, or we don't have to get into it all. Okay, but there are a lot of forms of escapism. There are a lot of forms of avoidance. And people who have addictive personality types and or are trying not to think and develop and grow and heal and live their life and stand on their own 2 feet, they're going to feed those outlets. And when they feed those outlets, the high, the dopamine hit, okay, the oxy boost, whatever it is, whatever they get out of it, the escape, it doesn't last as long. In time, you need a bigger hit, a greater high, and more time spent. The more they're doing this in their life, I'm not saying it has to be in your house, but just in their, in their lives, the more they're attracting paranormal activity. People don't take me seriously about this, but it really is one of the top 3 outlets for paranormal activity: attachments, possessions, da 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 da. And then they're coming through your space. They're coming through your world. They're coming through, your home, whatever it is, even your workspace. And they're bringing this paranormal activity. You seem to be the opposite from this in a lot of ways. And you may have had a lot of like farmers, or maybe like your grandparents had green thumbs. They just had a lot of like beautiful plants and they could grow anything, and, beautiful gardens, whatever it is. You seem to want more clean energy, more high vibrational space, more plants, more nature. You prefer things to, especially when you're connecting with the spirit world, you want to only really connect with spirits that are in the light. You don't want to be dealing with earthbounds or lower level spirits or questionable things. And while you may enjoy a horror movie every now and again, that is not the same as being deeply embedded, okay, in that negativity. And you could be seeing an increase in paranormal activity because of the people that are around you, okay, in particular, these individuals. And it's going to be a problem if you don't cleanse it out more regularly. All right. So do the cleansings, do the gritting, pay attention if you're noticing things moving, weird noises, in particular between 3 and 5:30 in the morning, the haunting hour, tapping, knocking, the bed rocking, and nightmares. Okay. Any type of feeling too, like you wake up and something's there. Okay. Staring, whatever, but it's time for some cleansing. And I'm not talking about just the type of cleansing you do in your house. I'm talking about, boundaries with people who have decided not to live in a higher vibration. Okay. It can seem harmless until it isn't. So definitely some activity going on here. Thank you, Christina. Jillian Corbin. Oh my God, I am so hungry. Did you guys hear that? That was a big one. Jillian Corbin. What is the most important message for Jillian to hear at this time? Most important message for Jillian. Bingo. You got a bingo. You have a grandmother coming through who's like, bingo. Is this an aunt? Godmother? I feel like I got a godmother. I feel like I've got a godmother type, an aunt type, auntie, and grandmother. These ladies are fun. These ladies were like, meh, just kind of screw it. Like some people grow old gracefully. And my definition of doing that is like, I'm going to eat the cake. I'm not going to worry about my weight. I don't care if I've got cellulite, I'm wearing the bikini, I'm going on the vacation, I'm having the drinks with my girlfriends, I'm dancing, it's like, just not a care, just like not a care, whatever feels good. And I'm like, is that what aging should be? That release. These ladies just had it going on, and they often played cards or games, or maybe this is the casino, but I'm quite literally hearing bingo. Okay. May have gone to bingo a lot. Now, there's talk of you winning, and they're celebrating this for you. It's like, bingo, she got it. Okay. Now, I don't know if this just happened. I'm getting one. So this could have been within the last week. Could have been a day, I guess, but I don't feel like it was that close. I feel like within the last week, you've got something brewing here, where you're being offered like a promotion, you're being seen, you're being heard, you're being recognized. You have an opportunity to grab at what you want and take it, claim it. It's right there. It's literally, the door is open. You didn't even have to knock. You didn't have to wait for the key. Okay. So what this tells me is that you've already done the work. You've had nose to the grind time. You've been patient with things, they say. They're very proud of you, right? You've been, especially your grandmother here. It's like watching you. I'm not saying you had a disappointing year, but you may have like had a year and a half to 2 years where it was like humdrum. I'm literally just chipping away every day. Like I'm not feeling super fulfilled. I'm not really feeling like it's going anywhere. There's no guarantee of any massive level up coming. I hope it doesn't stay this way. I also feel like I shouldn't run, and do something else. It's like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. This is, and they're showing like scoring a goal. Like you just score. Okay. Like score. You caught the goalie off guard. Where the hell is the goalie? Like there isn't even a goalie. I don't know what just happened here. It's like, you just leveled up, and like, no one saw you coming. No one saw you coming. You're coming through like Gray Man. This is very powerful. And I think that what's happening for you here is not only are you being seen and heard and recognized and and offered things that you could take, but you also have access to a bunch of other things. So this is a good time to look at loyalty. This is a good time to examine what happened in the past. Am I happy here? Do I want to go somewhere else? You may not have full proof other than my word and their word, but you can feel it in your bones that you have opportunities available for you. So if you want to go out into the world and grab at more, take more, go get it. Go get it, girl. Because I said this to somebody earlier. It is not all the time that the universe is giving that payout, or the universe has us in a fluid transfer, or the universe is just like supporting, and the universe is basically like, whatever you want, as long as you go grab it, I'll give it to you. okay? Or I'm bringing it to you. Just take it, okay? That does not happen all the time. It tends to happen in 2-year chunks of time, and it's definitely not all the time, and we all know that truth, okay? So enjoy. Bingo. This is it. It's about time. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Grandma, Auntie Jillian. We're going to move on. This is for Mella on TikTok. Mella. What is the most important message coming in here for Mella? You're coming through as a guinea pig. Guinea pigs are the most, aside from being cute, so you're being seen right now as being like cute and lovable and playful, and kind of curious and maybe even silly. But guinea pigs are the most empathic animals on land, they say. Okay. And guinea pigs absorb from their humans. They love things like music too. If you play piano, a guinea pig will come over and sort of lay on it. Guinea pigs are highly absorbent of other people's energy and stress and things like this. So a lot of people have guinea pigs with like constipation problems. They don't know why, because they're in a high stress, environment. Like they don't work well in that. I think that this being your totem, I just see the hair going, tufts of hair in all different directions, This being your totem right now, a guinea pig, is about you tapping in to the way you're being seen and understood right now. People want more of you, but you may want less of them. Okay. You are lovable. You are cute. You are fun. You are silly. You are creative. You are a healer. Okay. You are all these great things, but people are drags a lot of the time, and they don't really deserve a guinea pig. Okay. And maybe you just want to go sit on the piano. Maybe you just want to go, enjoy the sun through your fur puffs. Maybe you just, want to eat your food in the corner of your little apartment and cage and just have a nice time to yourself. And that's okay. This is time in your life for you to recognize that people want you and adore you and love you. And some may be jealous of you, for sure, for being that authentic person with all of those great natural abilities to attract. And you need to understand that when you're a guinea pig and they are often low-level energy humans, they're going to drain the life out of you. They really will. Intentionally, unintentionally. Okay. And you need to figure out more skills to protect yourself. Get a little bulletproof vest and, wear it, and using blocking exercises, more cleansing exercises, more, getting rooted and grounded. You may also need to eat better. Like, I don't know if this is a joke. Spirit's showing me like eat more carrots, because I see like a guinea pig eating carrots, but you may need to eat like more, fruits and vegetables that protect your immune system and build up your energy levels. I don't think you realize how powerful you are as a level 4 empath. Okay. There's an empathic awareness training on my site. You can Google it. I mean, there's some information out there on Google for sure that's accurate, but you need to understand that when you are a healer, you attract everyone, people who need healing, people who are jealous and offended by the way you shine. They feel like you're confronting them. You're not. You're not even paying any attention to them. You're not confronting them, but they feel confronted by you. Okay. People who feel like maybe you're too good to be true, people who want what you have, whether it's vying for your position at work, or the charm that you have, et cetera, et cetera. And, you will also attract, the more you protect yourself, the like-minded, the other empaths, the other healers, the other guinea pigs. It's time for you to start understanding fully who you are and how everything is orchestrated around your energy. Okay, because empaths are energy manipulators, especially at the 4th level. We rule everything. Good, bad, indifferent. We rule everything. Own your energy. You learn to use it more to your advantage. Okay, interesting. But you're super cute and lovable right now. And I would also be using that, in your favor. If there's anything you want, you could definitely have it, at least for the next 3 to 4 weeks. You can get whatever you want. So cute. Thank you. Milla, we are going to move on to Missy Cavillo. Missy. What's the most important message for Missy to hear at this time? Missy? You seem frustrated. You seem to have all the answers, and you seem to have all of the organizational skills. You seem to be the caretaker. So whether this is like you working in management, you just being, highly advanced in your career, you being a caretaker within the family over people, you being the organizer, it's like you've in all these different areas in your life. It's like you're driving, I see you in this big Jeep, and it's like everybody just wants to get in. Everybody just wants a ride, and they leave and they're like Cheetos on the floor, and they left their gross shoes in the back, and you're going to have to get the whole thing detailed. And it's like, no one really said thank you. No one chipped in on gas, and you're tired. I mean, you're just tired. You're tired from driving. Your eyes are weary. Who drives you? Who picks you up? Who takes you where you need to go, right? Who gives you a day off? I wonder if recently you've been taking more time off. You've been deliberately saying, like, I don't care what happens around me. I don't care if the whole world burns. Okay. But like, I'm taking my 2 days, don't call me. It'll go to voicemail. Like, you seem to be taking this more seriously, but not to the full extent that you need to be. So just understand that anything you've been noticing in regards to this, imbalances, where and it's easier for you to just hold yourself accountable and take responsibility for where you have been overreaching, overextending, instead of looking outward at everyone else. Okay. Just start here and say, this is where I need to pull back. But I do think that you are done with this cycle. If you are serious about this, you will be heavily rewarded. This is a big level up. A lot of people, women especially, don't learn until they're in their late 70s, 80s, 90s. I work with some ladies who are well over 100 who can't even pass away to the other side because they don't know how to stop. They don't know how to be still. They don't know how to process their thoughts. They have been so trained to go, do, right? In the patriarchal system, they don't even know how to pass away. They don't know themselves. They don't know how to live. They never lived. It's like you're young, right? So you're figuring this out young, but you have to know how big the threat is to never get out of this system. How common it is for women to never get out of this system. And it's time for you to explore the details. Now, you may even be teaching this down the road to other people, speaking on this, publishing on this, for sure. This is a big deal. Okay. But I think it's really starting with you just taking more space for a while and being like, no one's getting in my Jeep. No one's getting in I'm not driving anybody anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing this. And standing your ground and allowing yourself to feel that sort of dysregulation that comes from this type of change, pulling out of things that aren't really feeding, including with career, like your soul, your life contract, your purpose. Okay. We can't be like octopuses all the time, going in so many different directions. Sometimes we just have to stay on our own path. Okay. Pull in. Interesting. Thank you, Missy. We're going to move on. We have another one here for Isabella. Isabella, How many more, Diana? Okay, Isabella. This is number 2 for Bella. Give me something different than what she got before. Give me something different, please. Thank you. Isabella, most important message now. I heard you just went from playing checkers to chess. I don't know if you're planning on moving. I just got LA. Where are you? Like, just got California, West Coast. You may also be planning a trip to New York. I heard strawberry season. I mean, that's next year, right? But like, there's talk of New York here. And you going and just sort of, and you may have already just gone recently, but like, again, then, but it's like, I'm sort of dancing around. I'm enjoying the streets of New York. I feel like I'm home here. I could do this. Some people can, some people could never. You're like, I could do this. And I mean, live. Like, you could live there happily. Oh, I miss it. It's not for everyone, but if it's for you, it's home, and you can never leave. New York is always part of your soul. It's always in your head. Then we have California coming up here. And I saw you going through LA, and then I saw like maybe Pasadena, Pacific Palisades, Highway 1, Venice. We're kind of all over the map here, but I don't know that that's where you would be. I don't have you necessarily wanting to live in LA. It's more like the outskirts possibly, okay, or something. So California comes up, West Coast comes up in general. So there's a little bit of like Arizona here, but it's mostly Cali. And then there's just talk of you sort of learning to play chess, going from checkers to chess. Everything is elevating for you. This is your mind. This is your body. This is your career. You got to be careful with relationships, because relationships could actually take a nosedive at a time like this. So have your boundaries carefully set. And don't forget, every time you level up, everybody can't go with you. It is what it is. Okay. Boundaries there. That one could go in the opposite direction and suck your happiness and joy and energy out. Okay. But I think that for the next 4 to 7 months, you have a lot of maternal energy, grandmother energy watching over you. I have a great grandmother here as well. Talking about you speaking your truth. Your throat chakra may be a little bit clogged right now, where it's important for you to speak your truth, but it's also important that when you're in new environments that are like, I don't want to say unfriendly, they're just, maybe you're threatened, they could be unfriendly, or it's just uncharted territory. That's all. New doesn't necessarily equate to bad, right? And doing business with people, et cetera, or meeting new people doesn't always equate to them being opportunistic trolls from under the bridge. Not necessarily, right? So we're not playing checkers anymore. We're playing chess. It's all about strategy. It's about learning these new worlds of opportunity and getting at home in it. This is very exciting. You're in the big leagues now. Something has shifted. Something has changed. You're entering into a whole new phase. Okay. The grandmothers are going to be helping you. I do think it's time for you to figure out more of where you want to be. If you're thinking of any type of extended travel, I mean, Europe also comes up for you, but like where maybe you would be staying somewhere for longer extended periods of time, or full on taking up residency elsewhere. Okay, this may be something you need to start examining. Wow, very nice. Have fun with it. Congrats. Missy Cavillo said, yes, I am done with that cycle. Thank you, Ivy. Good for you, Missy. Thank you for being here. Number 2 for Edgar. Edgar Velardes, number 2. How many more, Diana? I know we were like up and then I thought it was going down. Are we back up, or can I have something different for Edgar, please? Something different than what he got before. Wow. So don't want to freak you out, but you may be going into trance. Now, I have a master's class, okay, for those that are like certified in my tier 2 program. It's up on the website. I do talk about this a bit there. The whole class isn't based on physical mediumship or anything, but like it does come up. Sometimes when you're a singer or you're a preacher, okay, you talk for extended periods of time in any capacity, like a lecture, okay? Sometimes when you do this, or like doing what I'm doing, you can accidentally go into trance. And trance mediumship, aka physical mediumship, aka possession, you call it whatever you want, can lead to you saying the most insightful, healing, phenomenal things to and for whoever you're speaking to. Whatever you're channeling can be absolutely phenomenal, but you may not remember it. And you may, instead of having any memory of it, actually have time warps, blackouts, not literally, okay, but like blackout periods where you lost track of time. How the hell did that happen? Or people will say, that thing you said to me the other day blew my fucking mind. That changed my life. And you're like, I didn't say that. I don't even remember that conversation. Okay. Like you just aren't really fully there, because trance is where you're opening up and you are just channeling the information, and your so right brain, it doesn't even register into your brain. This is something you may want to start being a little more mindful of, especially if you feel like you want to do it in a more constructive way. You want to feel a little bit less like, I'm going along for the ride, you know? You want to observe it, not be afraid of it, but just observe that it's happening. And I would recommend, to choose to embrace it, but also be a little bit more aware of the amount of time that you spend in it. Okay. So that it's brief intervals, shorter intervals. And that all comes through training your brain, intention setting, working with your guides, and just trying to be a little bit more aware and present of it. People who tend to get really, really lost in it just aren't trying to control any of it at all. Okay. So this is coming up as some type of messaging that's going to be working through you to other people. And I'm not just talking about patients, okay, or clients. It is happening there, but it's happening, a lot of it is happening socially, which is going to be really, really interesting. Okay, thank you, Edgar. We're going to move on. We have another one this is number 2 for Anna P. Number 2 for Anna P. Anna P. What's the most important message Anna P needs to hear at this time? Please give me something different than what she got the first time. Something different. I feel like you need to work on your house. Now, this can literally mean your residency stuff. This could be upgrades to the residency. This could be making your home feel, beautifying your home more secure, any type of change or transition that you have been wanting to make. This is also symbolic of your life. So the house in my symbol base is about the life you live. In particular, you may have let some things go in recent years. You may have gotten yourself tied up in things that were distractions, were fruitless, were low level energy, were habitual. were things that you thought were going to bring more prosperity and fruit and harmony and love and passion and calm and peace and joy to your life, like you thought they would, and it's like, that never happened. Okay, like why didn't that? Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Eventually, you come to the conclusion, okay, I'm knocking on the wrong doors, and I'm going to work on my own house. I'm going to work on my own life. I'm going to stop going after this or that or the other. Okay. I am going to sit still, and I'm going to create the things that I want to feel and I want to have. I want to experience in my life. I'm just going to create them through me. Okay. Like I'm going to be more introspective about what I want, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to see what in me is untapped, or where I have resources inside me, instead of being out here to get it all. Okay. Whether that be the government, that be money, that be employers, that be lovers, that be, recognition from the world. Out here, out here, out here. It's time for you to work on your house. And so going inward and saying, these are the things that I want in my life. This is how I want to feel. This is the day-to-day lifestyle I want to have. I want to feel excited about my work. I want to feel more fulfilled, whatever that list is. And you're going in and you're saying what in me is untapped and what resources are in here that I could further advance and use. What is in here? When was the last time you were in here really looking to see what's in there that you can work with? Because, this changes all the time too, people. All the time. And go in, make a 10-minute ceremony out of it, right? Get your notepad and pen and literally say to the universe, your higher mind, spirit, I don't want to be looking out here for the things that I believe are resources to help me live the life I want. I want to look in here for it. What is in me? Okay. So you don't even have to think hard about it. You're just setting the intention and go in, make it a ceremony. Okay. Cause there's some good stuff in there sitting there, and it's time. Thank you, Anna P. Do we have any more, or are we at time? You guys, I will see you. Is it the yes or no question show? I don't remember what's coming up. It is. Thank you, Diana. I will be back for the yes or no question show on Monday. So you guys can start getting your early questions in now. It is going to be unlimited. So you can ask any yes or no questions. Spirit and I will tell you how it's gonna go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you guys always for your support. You're absolutely amazing. I love you to death. And thank you, Diana. Can we give her a hand? She always does such a great job. Her and Kim are absolutely amazing in juggling everything. I so appreciate it. I could never do it on my own. I would just quit. I would just roll over and die. I cannot. All right, you guys are incredible. Have a great night, and I will see you Monday.